Good afternoon. You could have played a little more of that. Whitney is, I love Whitney. Whitney is a good vibe, always. So thank you for being here. We thank you and we welcome you for being here for our 7th production of Women at Work. Can you believe 7 years already? Yeah, give a round of applause for just the energy in the space and the fact that this has been around for 7 years now. So we have quite a full program, and I'm glad to see so many people out here. This is good. This is good. How are you all feeling? Y'all know each other? Sorta, kinda? All right, so this group over here, look over here and say, hey. This group over here, look over, say, hey. All right, so we're family now. So since we're family, just so you know, at some point these shoes might come off because I get comfortable when I'm in the company of family. So the shoes may come off and we're just gonna get into the day and enjoy each other and each other's company. So Women at Work is a celebration of women and our artistry in the Durham and the North Carolina artistic community. So I want to go ahead and get us started. First and foremost, let's give a round of applause to the Hayti Heritage Center. This has been the home of Women at Work for the 7 years that it has been in existence. And Angela Lee has always been a big part of helping us get ourselves together and make all the things happen. So give her a round of applause as well. We're gonna go ahead and get started. My name is Kimberly McCrae. I probably should have done that first, but I don't know, I just feel kind of comfortable. My name is Kimberly McCrae, and I will be your MC this afternoon, guiding you through this wonderful program. And our first artist is going to be Dorothy Clark. So Reverend Dorothy Clark is an ordained Baptist minister and co-pastor of Change Paths Ministry in Durham. She is an accomplished actor, playwright, and director. She was co-founder and artistic director of Renaissance Revival Theater in Binghamton, New York, and founder and artistic director of Front Porch Entertainment in Durham, North Carolina. Reverend Clark has performed on stages and at church events throughout the Northeast, North Carolina, and Point South. Her latest project, In the Works, is a one-woman show that explores the intersection of theology and the human body. In particular, how our relationship with God tempers our thoughts about our own body and how that relationship shapes our response to what would be body shamers and critics. So everyone give a round of applause for Dorothy Clark as she brings you Sister Sarah bids you hello.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me. Hey, let your mind go, let yourself be free. Let's go back, let's go way on the way back when. I didn't even know you could have been too much.
Who's she talking about? Good Lord. Good evening, everybody. Okay, what y'all got to say? All right, I'll start. I am really, really happy to be here. You want to know why? I was hoping you could tell me. You must know something. You must know something. Okay, all right. Let me just, wait a minute. Is it my cute folks back there? No, wrong person. Okay. There's another one over there. Boy, there's some funny looking people in here. Do I know you? No, okay, never mind. I am ecstatic to be here today because otherwise I'd be home cleaning house. And that's no fun. But anyhow, I was wondering as I was getting ready to come down here, how many of you know each other? You all do? Well, that took away that one. Okay, let me see. Let me come up with something else. No, really. I am really ecstatic to be here with you today, and I hope that you are enjoying, or that you will enjoy this service that we have come up with, because it is a service. It is a service. And it's something that we enjoy. And are you having a good time yet? Okay, good. All right, I can go. Is there anything that I need to tell you that you are not comfortable with, that you're not aware of? Is there anyone have any questions in the house? Who am I? Who asked that question? Who needs to know who I am? I'm me. See? Here I am. I'm me. I am what is it you call the person who's giving the directions? I'm your guide for the evening, at least until I get off the stage. Okay. I'm your guide. But this is just a way of gathering, of having fun with each other, with people that you don't know. And here's a chance to get to know someone that you have looked at while you were standing out there going, ooh, what is that child got on? Ah, see there? Somebody did it. Somebody did it. But it's a chance for us to get to know each other. And I would love to get to know, somebody tell me who you are so that I can go away from here being able to say, you know, I met the funniest person in. Close my eyes. There. Who is it? I saw you. She's trying to hide. It's you. It's you. Who are you? Who is you? Okay. All right. Huguette. Any other um, unnamed people in the house? How about that? Alias. Well, at least she came up with something. Alias. Okay, that's pretty good. Well, let me just tell you. Let me just tell you about my background. Boy, growing up in Thomasville, Georgia, is not the easiest thing to do. It is. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of people who keep their eye on you, make sure you're not in the wrong area of town. There's a lot of stuff to do. But if you have a that recognizes each other as family, then you have a better chance. Is that the case everywhere? Oh, oh my God, no? It's not the case that everywhere, if you know, if you two know each other, don't you get along? Oh, come on, y'all now. Come on now. I know it's not that bad. I know it's not that bad. Tell me the truth. As we find ourselves in different places in the country or in the world, we find different people, right? How do we deal with those different people that we are just finding, that we are just meeting? Maybe hopefully we meet them. How do we deal with them? How do you deal with people when you just meet them? Walk away? Commonality. Okay, what does that do? Over that thing. Okay, all right, that's true. That's a beginning. That's a beginning, because you can find somebody who has a similar knowledge about what you're looking at, or a similar way of approaching things. Then you have a beginning, right? Right. So how often do you run into people that you don't know, that you make an effort to get to know? I'm waiting. Every day. Okay. Well, many times. Okay, and that's from running into people? Okay. So we could get to know more people if we made an effort to find out who it was we just knocked off the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying. We could get to know more people. And right now, there's a bunch of people sitting right here. How many of you know all these people? You don't know all of them? Goodness. How am I supposed to connect people if you don't know? What? You know three. Okay. That's the beginning. Okay. We got one person that knows three people. That's a good beginning. Better than none. Okay. You want to tell us about how you got to know three people? Oh, Lord have mercy. Just talking. I know it's some good talkers in here. I just know that. You know how I know it? Because it's always some good talkers in the room. I have done that before. But that's how you get to know people. Now, why am I on this? Why am I talking about this? Because we have people every day. We run into new people. How many times does it seem worth your while to stop and say, you know, I've been seeing you every day. What's a smart? What's a smart? How often? How often does that occur to you? I'm not asking you to, reveal anything right now, but think about it. How often are you tempted to stop and say, I know you. I know you. I can see. I know that's fine. I don't know your name. Tell me what your name. Tobias. Tobias. I know it's Tobias. Oh my. See there? See what happens? I know it's Tobias. I didn't know it was you, but I know one. That's how you get to know people. Let me see. You look familiar to me, but I'm not sure why. Where do I know you from? Yeah. What's your name? Rogers. And where do I know you from? Listen up. That's somebody that's willing to play along. We're going to make up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know all those places. But that's how you get to know people. We're running into. That we need to know the people who have knocked on our door how many times. We need to know the people who are around us. Why do you think that is? Because we're what? Human. What does that have to do with people? People because we're people. Okay. That's an interesting thought. There you go. There it is. You need to know people. Oh, then little child will be the one to lead. All right. Um, as we have come to this space, how many times? This is the seventh time that we've been here, and and getting to know the people who are here. Is it the same people every time? Recognize all the people that were here last time you were here? No. Okay. Recognize any of the people. Somehow it came to me that we need to be more aware of who is sitting every day, who is calling our phone that we don't know every day. Know who the people are. So somehow, these people, our people, we were all put here for a reason. And we were not put here to be the only one. Would you agree with that? So somehow we have to find who those other people are that we're supposed to know. And when we start to find those people, we just might find out that all this time I've been running into you, I did not even know that we were sisters. I did not even know that we were from the same don't know something about somebody, you'll never know anything. Does that seem reasonable? That seems reasonable. Okay. Um, I think that's as far as I'll go today. I think that's as far as I'll go. Answer the question now. Did I? No, I did not. Case closed. No. Okay, except for one thing. Except for one thing. I want to do something that we all can do together. I know you love doing that. I know you just absolutely know that you've been waiting for that, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so I'm going to sing a song. I'll sing it by myself if I have to. But don't let me sing by myself because you won't like it. You won't like it. Don't let me sing by myself. Sing with me, okay? Okay. Let me see what it's going to be. God gave me a song that the angels cannot sing. I was washed in the blood of the crucified one. I was redeemed. The Lord has been so good to me. He's opened doors I could not see. Sometimes when I am feeling low, no one to care, nowhere to go. My God is rich in kindness and land. He holds the power of the world in his hand. God gave me a song that the angels cannot sing. I was washed in the blood of the crucified one. I was redeemed. The Lord has been so good to me. He's opened doors I could not see. Sometimes when I am feeling low, no one to care, nowhere to go. My Father's rich in houses and lands. He holds the power of the world in Sister Sarah took it into the archives with that one. I haven't heard that song since I was a little child in church. Woo. Give another round of applause for Dorothy Clark.
Oh, I think my microphone is working again. Okay. Thank you so much for your participation. I was back there laughing, y'all. I mean, and these are the kinds of conversations with elders a lot of times. I know there have been elders in my community when I was little that would just kind of approach me and start talking and asking questions and dropping gems and giving insights. And I didn't appreciate it then, But as I've gotten older, how many people sitting here can say, if I knew then what I know now? Yeah, there was some good information being shared and some real love being shared. And it has helped me to know now how to engage with people, because I'm an introvert. Anybody else in here an introvert? Yeah, I'm an introvert. I perform extroversion very well. I can get up here on the microphone and talk to everybody all day. But I am fine sitting in a corner by myself with nobody talking to me. I see you nodding your head. You feel me. Yes. So it's always wonderful to open up our minds and our hearts to people and to experiences and to places. So prepare yourselves to open up your minds and your hearts to our next performer. I am absolutely amazed by this young person. The name is Sophia G. Sophia G is a 16-year-old violinist and native of Durham, North Carolina. You could give a little round of applause. I heard somebody say, woo. Yeah, yeah. She is a junior at Jordan High School, as well as an affiliate violinist of two nonprofit music organizations located in Cary, North Carolina. United Strings of Color is a collaborative that brings awareness of underexposed African American composers through performance and education. Located at Fayetteville Elementary, Durham's very own Kids Notes is a free after-school music program. I'm gonna say that again. It is a free after-school music program, okay? We need that for our children, that provides instruments and music instruction. Sophia has been a part of Kids Notes since kindergarten. Sophia G is also a lyricist, a future entrepreneur, and a budding violinist. I want you all to give a huge round of applause for our next performer, our next women at work, Sophia G.
for this last song, we're gonna do something different, a little fun. And you know how it's tax season and all that, so I know y'all got paid. So we gon' work this out, all right? I got plans, what you want with it? Oh yeah, we can get it. I got my brother on the beat so we can move with it. My favorite time of year, oh yeah, I must admit it. Right after Thanksgiving, Christmas, now we back in business. It's like the lotto every year and we just hit it. I'm making up my list, cause we about to get that Gucci suit with them letters. My people know we go get us, that grilled chicken, no lettuce. Then Jordan classic 11s, we piping hot with those sweaters. It's summertime with those sweaters, don't you know? Here we go, about to blow. Mommy, daddy got they W, two, double, two. Mommy, daddy got they W, two, double, two. Mommy, daddy. Hey yo, I'm trying to make you understand, we're getting money, man, but they jealous. I'm trying to see 100 bands in a Lambo, man, with pink feathers. I don't know if they got it, man, this year was bad, they tell us. Let me see that tax receipt, it's time to eat, so let's go. Grab them keys, grab them cars, I got money up to Mars. That's your check, but it's ours, all we see is superstar. See these shoulders, dustin' mom, cause you know that we G'd off. So don't you know, yeah, here we go, ayo. Mommy, daddy got they W, two, double, two. Mommy, daddy got they W, two, double, y'all gon' help me out.
Mommy, daddy,
Hey. Two, double, two. Mommy, daddy got they. Hey, come on.
mommy, daddy got
Hey, W, two, double, two. Hey, yo. Thank y'all so much.
W, double. You know what? So my daughter has been singing that for a while now. Clearly, there's been a meeting of the youth, and yeah, but my daughter is like 25. I don't know why she's still singing it, but you know. Give a round of applause again for Sophia G. That was incredible. That was a bop. And I love how it was like someone switched a switch in her back, and she just went from classical to hip hop. Amazing, amazing. This is Durham, homegrown, y'all. Come on, it doesn't get much better than that, right? Okay, so our next performer is one of the most important people in this space tonight. It is the founder and curator of Women at Work, Andrea Woods Valdez. Give her a round of applause. Yeah. Dancer, choreographer, scholar, musician. Andrea E. Woods Valdez is the director of the Duke University Dance Program and, and artistic director of Solo Works, Andrea E. Woods and Dancers. She founded the Women at Work Showcase and the Calabasa Summer Intensive to develop Black audiences and performing and teaching opportunities for women of color. Woods Valdez creates dances, make sure I'm where I'm supposed to be. Woods Valdez creates dances as contemporary African-American folklore. Her creative process is inspired by folk traditions such as blues, jazz, folk music, African-American literature, family folklore, and movement reflective of the African diaspora's social and cultural experience. She is a former dancer, rehearsal director with Bill T. Jones' Arnie Dance Company. She holds an MFA in dance from The Ohio State University, a MAH in Caribbean Cultural Studies from SUNY Buffalo, and a PhD in dance from Texas Women's University. Yeah. Woods Valdez received grants from the Jerome Foundation, NEFA, the National Dance Project, National Performance Network, Arts International, and the North Carolina Arts Council. Her work and research have taken her to the Cannes International Dance Festival, the National Black Theater Festival, Taiwan, Russia, Senegal, Morocco, Korea, Poland, Singapore, Belize, Ghana, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Barbados, Trinidad, Puerto Rico, England, and throughout the United States. She calls her dances solo works because they are works from the heart, works from the soul. You can find her at www.soloworks.com. And I want you to give a warm welcome to Andrea Woods Valdez.
Like Kim, I like to get comfy. The beautiful process. The beautiful process is when you look down over the roundness of your body to your own thighs that are now soft and graceful, no longer taunt like flojos, and instead of dismay, you say, "These are mommy's thighs." You place your fingers in your own hand and you notice that they remain forever elegant. And you say, "Oh my goodness, these are mommy's hands." I'm becoming the things I still love and cherish about my mother, a living example of a Black woman maturing. This is what I call the beautiful process. As a dancer, this is the process I hold on to when I miss the days of being superwoman, carrying a gallon of frozen water, a 13-inch TV, and a large Sony camcorder in a green duffel bag on my back to rehearsal, making sure my dancers had technology and cold water. That was me when all my walking shoes were for stomping, marching from place to place. That was me when I toted groceries, laundry, tore suitcases, and secondhand street furniture up and down 4 flights of stairs, 3 and 4 times a day. Those were my pre-Toyota, pre-Subaru, pre-Nissan, pre-ranch house with a 1/4 acre of land days. I was dancing hard, and I never considered anything different for myself. I only wanted to own my own apartment in Brooklyn, New York, and to have stability for all that running around. Then came the shift. After living in New York for 23 years, including 6 years dancing and on tour, I wanted my home to be where I could nestle my toes into the soil, press my cheek, yes, to the bark of a tree and say, "I love you." That's part of what brought me here to North Carolina in 2009. This is sacred ground. My ancestors since slavery have been buried in Western North Carolina. The legacy of my bones is literally in this earth. Being here, I started writing a dance play. The working title is Flight of the Gnarly Woman. The content is derived from my present life as I find glorious ways to dance longevity into a career that sometimes blows hard wind back into my face. I want to tell you about the bumps and the bruises, But I also want to tell you about the joy of today and tomorrow as my feet dance me into the stage of active reminiscing. Oh, these feet. Don't get me started. Palmer's cocoa butter just barely smooths my soles and heels. Crevices, crevices, crevices. Let me hear you say it. Crevices, crevices, crevices. If you don't have them now, they're coming. They're coming for you. Softening my dancing feet is something I never would have done 20 years ago. I used to prize the fact that my feet were like Michelin tires, durable, scabbed, split, crusted, callous, thick nails. One of my old beaux once said, "Your feet are pretty, but your toes gotta go." In my family, those toes are legendary. My mommy's toes with the slight big toe bunion and the curve, these toes curled downward, desiring to feel soil and earth. They're not at all comfortable when I force them into T-straps and point shoes. These feet have been solid enough to endure decades of barefoot dancing. Maybe my hard-won dancer's feet are the precursor to how my body feels now. The rest of me is catching up to the feet that have known the weight of time and perseverance in dance. From the beginning of my career, I promised to love dance no matter how much it toyed with loving me back. My feet hold up and they hold on. I want my body to do the same. I want to be dancing the rest of my life. As one of my students said when I asked what dancing meant to her, dancing means the world to me. We can always serve dance with a capital D, but as I mature, I feel my dancing is something I witness, like watching a beautiful ship sail out into sea as I wave goodbye from the water's edge. It is time to embrace loving as a move toward the reality of a new embodied place. Except for the occasional dressing room chatter about scar tissue, hot flashes, and arthritis, losing dancing is a story no one prepares us to face. The physical, biological change is a personal reality. As someone who defines my life by my ability to move rigorously and physically in the world, I feel it's nobody's business but mine what's happening. It's difficult to describe or explain what change inside feels like. Still, the poetry inside me, even as I am shy or embarrassed or uncertain about what it looks like, it wants to come through over time. I want to share this poetry with you. The poetry in me knows better than my ego how to love and appreciate the grace in other people, especially dancing women. Our longevity keeps us here, viable and visible. We have work to do and love. Teaching and being around young people like Sophia, W, keeps me feeling youthful. I love being around their infectious energy and spirit. I doubt they know the gift of the youth to women like me. By younger, I mean ages, how old is she? 1 to 45, 50 years old. Sometimes you listen to us, sometimes you don't. It doesn't matter. You'll all have the opportunity to know a version of the beautiful process if you are so blessed. They say good black don't crack, but it sure does get creaky. I say, yeah. At 59, my knees, neck, thumb, wrist, bunions, back, and hips form a moment-to-moment orchestra of oohs and ahs. After 30 minutes sitting, I really feel it. Nonetheless, I don't want to be in any other body or in any other time. I know pain and injury too intimately, but I keep a version of my dance exercises and practices going. Sometimes my joints ask me to pause, linger, and give them a chance to catch up to my spirit. My spirit, yes, my spirit gets stronger, more knowledgeable, more demanding, more compassionate, and more free. Yes, freedom is something that comes along with age. Mobility is freedom. I look down at my slender feet like daddy's feet. This is a beautiful process. I keep a part of him here with me in the curve of my arch that's just there, even when I don't point my foot. Walking is pleasure. Toes like mommy, feet like daddy's. I used to sit on the floor and wonder at my grandmother's ankles, always swollen. Do they hurt? I would rub Grand's ankles to soothe them, as my husband does to me now. Now I still dance, but I have time to rest. I never used to need to rest. I just slept good and hard when I could. Touring was one of the most magnificent parts of being a professional dancer, but sleep and rest were always in short supply. With 5 minutes here, 20 minutes there, I could sink into a hotel bed, a fiberglass bench, a cold marble airport floor, a tour bus seat, find any creative rest position, anything to comfort my muscles and bones. I napped hard. Backstage in the corners, cold, dusty floors. I dozed under warm dressing room lights between tech rehearsals, dinner break, and the show. Any surface could cradle my weary dancer's body, enough to get me to the next thing. But oh, the damage it did. My body stood up to it for a while. I was resilient. I bounced back, able to keep going through a necessary cycle. But now I wear the road on each individual vertebrae and in my shoulders. My body needs constant attention, warm, not hot baths, apple cider vinegar and arnica, occasional physical therapy, visits to the acupuncturist. Now my life is all about being kind to myself. It's about saying thank you, I love you, to this body and the spirit that gifted me the flight of dance. When I danced with Bill T. Jones' Arnie Zane Dance Company, I remember dancing a section 3 of Arnie Zane's Freedom of Information. Dressed in black and wearing black jazz shoes, I soared across the back of the stage in a succession of split leaps. Pow, pow, pow. I couldn't get enough. The bigger the stage, the better. Northrop Auditorium, oh my goodness. I need something different now. I never want to lose that moment. It's in my memory, but I need something different now. My priorities have changed, but the memory of flight vibrates through even the most subtle dancing gestures, and I'm hoping I never forget. Feeling physical change is internal and it's real. Acknowledging and nurturing my body with movement at this real age is a true part of the beautiful process. Nonetheless, I cannot admit to aging gracefully. I'm stubborn, but it's not what you think. I'm not anxious to hold on to what was. I fight to be able to rejoice in what is. I'm proud to be growing older and owning the privilege of age and not masking it. I'm not interested in substituting other words for old or older. My kneecaps are literally 59 and a half years old. Even as I feel honored to mature, sometimes I still try to do what society encourages women to do, always look and feel younger. I can't shop at Forever 21 to dress up the stiffness and the creaking. My resistance is in enjoying my curves and how my weight settles into new places on this body. You need to understand that the beautiful process is about embracing the future and embracing change. Let's talk about menopause. Menopause, well, it's no joke. We are laughing, but it's no joke. Did anyone tell you it comes with temporary memory loss, shortness of breath for no reason? Of course, you still must keep up with self-breast examinations and regular GYN appointments. All the while, the medical profession is no longer interested in you because you are no longer fertile. They think we are now operating from a biological, emotional, physical, and spiritual deficit. This needs to change. This needs to change. Let me hear you. This needs to change. This needs to change. This needs to change. As a maturing woman living out various truths, we can retrain the world to see and understand us as desirable contributors, innovators, and producers. Maybe it's this very effort to choreograph our expanding bodies and spirits into society that brings days of exhaustion. The drop in energy catches us by surprise because we are accustomed to it being unlimited. Not too long ago, I felt jet lag just walking from the kitchen to the living room. But don't worry, the perimenopause, menopausal energy crisis flips at a certain point. Most women don't even understand what perimenopause is or know when it's happening to them. You gain confidence when you get through that phase and a wellspring of unstoppable energy that leaves people wondering, how is she doing all these things? It is the beautiful process through which we stay present. No worries. There is also the gift of menopausal sensitivity. When you feel the wind blow between the hairs on your arms, and you feel warm respiration as it leaves your nostrils, that's how in tune you are to the earth and your body. That is a beautiful process. You begin to know your true self. I am a dragon. I am a swan sailing through cool waters. I am a dragon and a swan at the same time. I am graceful and angry. I am cunning and delicate, brave and mean when I have to be. Do you want to test me? I don't think so. If younger women were aware of this cycle ahead of time, they might have something to look forward to. The beautiful process comes with wisdom, creativity, and energy to accomplish what you envision. The beautiful process is an insurance that only you need to trust. I usually know what I'm talking about and why, but people do like to test me. Maybe it's my head of gray hair. I have to teach people that gray symbolizes confidence and experience. As for my experience, I see my head of gray hair as electrifying. A friend once told me that each hair on my head is like a tiny antenna, spindling toward heaven, sending and receiving messages. I feel it. I feel it. This hair has been tested by the storm of longevity. It springs forth into a gorgeous afro. It has proven itself to stand and dance the test of time along with me. Now gray hair is even trending. Imagine that. So, In conclusion, here I am, head to toe. You know me now, testifying and doing the dance of the beautiful process. I'm in it and still dancing my truth as best I can. Maybe that's the dance I'll always do. Maybe that's just my style. I dance in the cooling shadow of Mary Hinkson and Sage Coles. I dance under the willow tree of Abby Lincoln and Blondell Cummings, who once asked me, Andrea, you got kids? Freeze some eggs, freeze some eggs. All along this journey, I dance lessons taught by Pearl Primus, Jenny Lagon, Aljamae Hinton, Norma Miller, Cheetah Rivera, and many, many more. They let me know I can be artistic, athletic, intellectual, sassy, multi-talented, complex, and on the beat. Or I can be Jill Scott silent. Growing is healing, healing is growing. Growing is healing, healing is growing. I've been given the blessing of time to do both. I wish that you and your feet should be so blessed as to step into and love the dance of time with your own style, in your own way, too. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Daddy. 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 Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Daddy.
That was absolutely incredible. Give another round of applause for Andrea Woods Valdez. We had some synergy going on because as she started talking about menopause, I was sitting back there fanning. I got my own little internal heating system going on. It's the beautiful process. I like thinking of it that way. That is how I will think of it from this moment forward, the beautiful process. So our next performer is a co-curator of the event this year, and that is Ife Michelle. Yes. Ife Michelle is a choreographer and artist educator engaging dance praxis as a means of exploring individual, communal, and cultural identity and expression. Through her primary movement styles, traditional West African, hip-hop, heels, and couture vogue, her artistic work strives to demonstrate the multiplicities of Black femme presentations as a means of reclamation and radical self-autonomy. You can find Ife Michelle on Instagram at Ife Michelle Dance, and start giving a round of applause as we welcome Ife Michelle to the stage.
Hi, guys. I am excited to share with you guys today. I always like to preference, or I guess in this season of my life, I have been preferencing my performative spaces with, this is an invitation to witness. And what you are seeing is remnants of process, remnants of what I'm currently calling detangling as I inch into 30 in a few months. I'm so excited. But I invite you to witness. I invite you to feel your feels. I invite you to call forth whatever my process might ignite in you. We are here together as community and family, and I thank you all for being here. This offering is called Detangling Untitled 2. This piece is dedicated to my mother and my nana who danced with me before they knew me. My mother always made time to dance. Whether it was a two-step in the kitchen, in the store, in the car, if a song she liked came on, she was going to dance. Down lines in hot studios in Greensboro, moved by the syncopation of drums, songs, and spirit. Her face stern, like when she reprimanded us. But when she hit that stage or that bantaba, you could not deny the joy exuding from her. My Nana does this dance where she shimmies her shoulders, sways back and forth, then drops lower and lower and lower till she's on her knees, then leans back until her face is towards God and her shoulders never stop moving. Last year, we had a family reunion, and my Nana danced for the first time, and my Nana danced for the whole family. I mean, full-on costume change from day attire, and she danced for us. But I also think for herself. This is the most joy I've seen in her since her stroke. When my granddad, my Baba, had dementia, we went to visit him in the hospital. He couldn't remember all of us, but he remembered his Ed, my Nana. And she smiled, and he smacked her butt, and they danced. I am the oldest of 6, so coming up, my mom was sometimes my playmate. As I hit middle school and learned all the dances of the time, I would come home and beg my mom to let me teach her. She would always make time. And we danced, and just as she planted seeds in me, I planted some in her. My mom's house is the spot, the haven, the place to be. On any given day, inside quiet suburbia, you can count on 9620 to be jumping. Drums by Mama D. Keita, grooves from Jodeci, vibes of Lovebug Starsky, Isley Brothers, and we always taken over for the 99s and the 2000s. We laugh, we sing, and we dance.
I can't believe that you don't understand the believe gold. Or should W's and more gold. Or want some good W more gold. I'm a motherfucking on the show. All up on me on the show. I'm a flash and I'm playing with the wall. I divide you when I walk.
Fly me, so money fell gone. Fine lady, girl, you different gone. I don't know why, but I miss you gone. Bad girl, I'm addicted gone. Ìwọ lolólùfẹ́, my darling. Ìwọ lolólùfẹ́ mi, mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ. Ìwọ lolólùfẹ́, my darling. Ìwọ lolólùfẹ́ mi, mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ. Mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ Fúnkẹ́ sọ fún ẹ mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ Bísí lọ́lá sọ fún ẹ mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ mo ní Fọláṣadé sọ fún ẹ pé mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ gan ni. Ìwọ lolólùfẹ́ my darling, ìwọ lolólùfẹ́ mi mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ. Ìwọ lolólùfẹ́ my darling. Kókó bílò kókókó, ó wá fẹ́ pàdé mi nísàlẹ̀, ìyàtọ̀ fún kókó bílò. Kókókókó, ó wá fẹ́ jẹ kókókókó, mo ní kó pàdé mi nísàlẹ̀, ìyẹn gan ló ṣe kókó. Ìwọ lolólùfẹ́ my darling, Ìwọ lolólùfẹ́ mi, mo nífẹ̀ẹ́. Ìwọ lolólùfẹ́, my darling. Ìwọ lolólùfẹ́ mi, mo nífẹ̀ẹ́. Fly me, so money gone. Fine lady, girl, you different gone. I don't know why, mama miss it.
There's just something about Afro beats. I'm sorry. I had to come out my shoes, y'all. I was back there dancing. And because I'm in the beautiful process, it was too much work to put them back on before I came back out. So, we are going to move into, so we're almost halfway through our program. And before I introduce this next segment, I just want to remind you all that we have incredible vendors out there in the lobby. I can't wait to get out there. I brought money this year just for it because they always have some really incredible stuff out there. So please make sure that you support these businesses, these small Black businesses. They have lots of things, clothing. I saw a couple of items of clothing. I know they've got good smelling stuff out there, some things to nurture your body, lotions, and I saw some kids' lip gloss and stuff. I think my grandbaby would like that. So make sure that you spend some time getting to know the vendors and actually purchasing some of their items. And at the end of the program this afternoon, when we finish around 5 o'clock, we're gonna have 2 workshops. That is a new piece that we've added. So if you wanna get some more dance and movement, then Ife is going to be doing one workshop, and I will be doing another one. So feel free, everyone is invited. Just pick which one. They're happening at the same time. Sorry, y'all. You have to pick one. So pick one. Feel free to come and join us for the workshops for that last hour. So, the next segment is the first ever Brave Women Awards presentation. Give a round of applause for that. I love how this event keeps expanding and expanding and expanding. And this year we've got Andrea Woods Valdez and Kristen Taylor Duncan coming to present the Brave Women Awards. Give a round of applause for them as they come.
Thank you so much. Kristen will be along in a second. And this is our inaugural award, and I intend for it to be every year. I intended it for it to be a while ago, but it takes time when you have your vision to get the momentum to actualize the moment. And I always knew that when this time came we always give honor to women, as you can see in the dedications in the program, but we have women in our community, and anything that I do, I'm always aware of the shoulders and feet that I stand on and next to and around and behind and beside. And Mama Tony and Mama Sadia are 2 of those people since I came here. I moved here from Brooklyn, and I fell right into a community because of the Hayti, because of them, because of my peers like Aya Shabu. This is how I sort of got into a new community without too much awkwardness. And so this is appreciation from women at work, all of us, but definitely from my heart. I would like to read their bios because even as I read them, I thought, how have I been here and never known some of these things? So I'm going to take the time to read their bios. And before I go on, I'd just like to also acknowledge we have a wonderful technician, EJ, who is making all of the magic happen. So can we just give EJ a round of applause? Because we could not do it without EJ. And in the background, Quentin Talley, too. Okay. Tony K. Hall is a founding current member of African American Dance Ensemble, artistic director of Collage Dance Company, and co-founder of Sato's Dance Academy. Tony began her professional dancing career under the tutelage of Miss Nancy Pickney at North Carolina Central. All right, give Miss Pickney her props. She met Dr. Chuck Davis through the American Dance Festival Outreach Program, and under his guidance has studied with numerous dance masters and choreographers over the years. Mr. Donnie McHale, Ronald K. Brown, Tally Beatty, Asan Conte, Nafisa Sharif, Dr. Kariamu Welsh. These are a few who influenced her career through extensive residencies and master classes. Tony has performed at the American Dance Festival in Durham and other festivals locally and nationally with the African American Dance Ensemble, and also had the pleasure of performing with Bal Ethnic Dance Company, Sato's Dance Academy, and Tekeri Dwafe Dance and Theater Company. That's beautiful. Tony is a proud mother of her daughter, who is also a dancing choreographer, and gives thanks to God for the opportunity to share her love of dance and music and culture and with everyone she meets, especially our youth. In the words of Baba Chuck, dance till dance ceases to exist. Sadia Shakur Salim is a baby boomer who was born in New York City and Harlem. Her familiar roots ultimately brought her back to North Carolina. Sadia is a Muslim wife, mother, grandmother, educator, and lover of the creative arts and dance, theater, music, and poetry. Her love for all things arts was nurtured through her childhood with chorus, glee clubs, and school plays. But the light brightened in college and flourished into a lifelong journey when she discovered West African dance with Dr. Charles Chuck Davis and her time with the Chuck Davis Dance Company in New York in the late 60s. Most of you all know the company was in New York and here. That's how expansive Baba Chuck's legacy is. 60s and 70s and beyond. Baba Chuck, as we affectionately called him, taught us about the importance of learning the history of our dance traditions and the imperative of entertaining and educating our audiences wherever we meet them, from the stage to the school auditorium to the classroom. These life lessons resurfaced when Mama Sadia Shakur relocated to Durham with her young family. After watching a play where a dance was performed that was supposed to be a traditional African dance, she was inspired to start an African Dance Center at that time, and that was the home of Collage Dance Studio. The classes she started here at the Hayti Heritage Center in about 1980. It was referred to, the Hayti then was referred to as St. Joseph's Performing Center. At that time, it was the home of Collage Dance Studio, until the building was slated for complete renovation. This history would not be complete without mentioning the addition of Tony K. Hall as an assistant director of the company. Mama Tony has been the company's creative contributor for over 25 years. She has been an internal part of the company's growth, development, and dance acumen. Sadia is forever grateful to the Almighty Creator and His blessings, and to the ability to see our youth flourish through exposure to the arts and involvement in the Collage Dance Company. As Sadia claims, we stand by our motto: if you can talk, you can sing. If you can walk, you can dance. And I don't have it in this bio, but also Sadia gives honor to Yvonne Coleman, who was the first company executive director. And our roots in dance come from so many areas of our lives, from the little children who were drumming, who are now the adults we call on for our ceremonies and Kwanzaa, to just every aspect. You can't turn left or right without someone being connected to Collage Dance Company. And Sadia says the African proverb speaks to the fact that there are just no limits to your personal goals and aspirations. Just learn and do it. And I would like my colleague, Kristen Taylor Duncan, are you there? Yes. To come out and are they backstage, Sadia and Tony? Can you come on out so we can applaud you?
Hello, I am Kristen Taylor Duncan. I've danced with, and I will try not to cry. I danced in Collage from maybe like 1986 or 87 until I graduated from high school in 1998. And so I have a few words, just a thank you. I want to thank Mama Sadia and Mama Tony for sharing their love of dance.
It's good. It's a good cry.
And their love of working with young children and youth. The Collage Dance Company extends from across the globe. We have this bond with Mama Sadia and Mama Tony. The memories that we have in Saturday rehearsals, performances, learning songs of different languages, and most of all, making sure your lapa did not come off on stage. It is this love of dance that they have instilled, not only in our blood, in our bones, but in our hearts. And dance is a sacred place for us, and we thank you.
So I would like our honorees to say a few words. Mama Tony, if you can collect yourself. Because we need to hear your voice, too.
Thank you so much. This is such a wonderful, wonderful honor to have been trained through Baba Chuck, Mama Sadia, and then to extend what I have learned to our youth is one of my greatest, greatest accomplishments. I often tell my kids that when I was their age, I didn't have that opportunity for whatever reason. We were too busy just trying to survive. Formal dance classes, please. I wasn't even really aware of it. And my mother wasn't necessarily in the tradition, so she didn't pass it on to me. It all came when I met Baba Chuck Davis, because I could do social dance, you know, the regular popular dance of the day. But when I met Baba Chuck, I was on the edge of my seat for that entire performance. And from that day forward, I said, let me know wherever that man is, because I want to be there. I want to be in class. I want to learn. And he has taught me so much: history, music, dance, culture, how to be a mother, just how to be an all-around good person. And I honor that and I treasure that. And that's what I want to present and pass on to the youth of today. So many of them come to us like me. They don't have a clue about African dance other than what they see in media, but the root of it, the heart of it, the history of it, because I don't teach dance just for the sake of teaching dance. You gotta know the what, when, where, and the how. So when you go out and represent, you don't tell anybody Mama Tony taught you that, but you don't know what she taught you. So I'm big on passing all of that on to the youth, and I'm just so honored to have that opportunity to be able to do that. And from the training that I came from, and just to be able to pass it on. So many things that Andrea said in her piece just spoke to me, because I'm like, Yeah, Tony, you're getting older. You got to give up the reins. You got to, yeah, but not until I just can't do it anymore. And we have two dancers who have been with us for years that have come back and helped me a lot. They have been our assistants. And it reminds me of when I first started with Mama Sadia, and she trained me but didn't really train me. It was lead by example. So I learned a lot of things just from watching her, and we did it together. And then slowly she tried to step back and not be in the studio as much. And I was the one that was in the studio and loved it. I was not the talker. I didn't want to griot. I didn't want to do any of that. So I know she's over there just beaming that I'm having to stand up here and talk, and that I'm just talking. So let me shut up. Thank you so much for this honor.
Okay. It's hard for me to say a few words. Good afternoon, everyone. This is absolutely beautiful. And this, I don't know, I don't want to call it a trophy, but it's gorgeous. Really, really pretty. This is just a blessing, that's all. The whole journey is a blessing. So when you talk about, you didn't have formal class, I had a class at tap dancing. I was probably about 10 in New York, in the Bronx, and my mom said, there's some people living in the building, and I said, where are you going? They go, we're going to tap dance. I'm like, what's tap dancing? Where are you doing tap dancing? Oh, we're going to Broadway, something. So I told my mother, and she says, okay, you can go. So we went down, we did that for a year. I mean, just so many things in the arts, in fact, really stayed in my family. My mother used to do plays when she lived in North Carolina. My father used to sing in the choir. You know, everybody was in the church. So my father used to sing with his brothers in a quartet. My mother gave me piano lessons. I didn't have a piano. She said, I'll get you a piano. It was just important throughout, as I realized it when I think back, that the arts was in your possession somewhere. Either it was in your school, it was in your church, because I sang in choirs. It was always around you. And so this, you just sort of took it for granted. So when Mama Tony talks about kids who don't do things, you're just like, what? You're not doing anything? What do you mean you're not doing anything? I don't understand it. And so it's just a journey. And so with the arts, I encourage anybody and everyone, keep your foot to the pedal, the pedal to the metal, about keeping the arts in our schools for our children, because they're desperately taking this away from our children. And so is media taking the arts, not just the fluff, but the art. You gotta learn what to do with this body of yours. You have to learn how to hold on to the body, like Mama Andrea was saying. If you throw it all over the place and throw yourself in this place, you ain't gonna do that very long. So you have to learn how to use your body correctly. And that doesn't happen just by stance. You need a teacher, you need a mentor, you need someone who will tell you how to do it correctly. You need the foundation, as my brother used to always say. My brother was a sensei in karate. He was a 7th degree black belt. And he said, you've got to have foundation. So that happens with teachers and lessons. So I could go on and on and on. It has been my great pleasure to do the things that I love to do with children that I absolutely adore. And the fruit is in our what is it? The labor, the fruit is in our labor, one of those. But to look at all of these young people who have come through this path of 40 years in Durham. Durham has been a wonderful place for me to explore the concept of art and movement and flourishing for the youth. And our youth are amazing. And I want them to continue to be amazing and not to be covered up by nonsense. So anyway, thank you so much. I love all of you.
Is Alec out here? Is Alec still out here somewhere? Alec? Alec? No? Oh, can you take a picture of us? And I just wanted to say, Collage Dance Company needs dancers. If you have young people, oh, they want to take another one. They want a better pose. Come back. Yes. If you have young people, please bring them to Tony and Sadia for collage. Please bring young people so that the legacy of the company continues. So this is our 10-minute intermission. Go see the vendors, talk amongst each other. Sister Sarah bids you hello. You can't possibly leave here without saying hello to someone. Do I recognize you? Move your body, get your circulation going, get up out of your seat, go say hello to someone, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Stay with us.
You know, every now and then, I think you might like to hear something from us. Nice and easy. But there's just one thing.
Job down in the city.
You see, we never, ever do nothing.
Working for the man
Nice.
every night and
Easy.
day.
We always
But
do
I
it
never lost
Nice.
1 minute of
and rough.
sleep. And I was
But we're gonna take the beginning of this
about the
song
way the thing might
and do
have
it
been.
easy.
Big wheel keep
But then we're gonna do the
on
finish.
turning.
Rough.
Proud man.
I heard somebody getting ready to sing the chorus of the song. I heard you. I don't know who it was, but I heard you. Okay, EJ. We got to get this going. We got to get this going. Okay, okay, okay. That was fun. Okay, thank you for coming back. I hope that you had a good time looking at what the vendors had out there and talking to some of the performers and getting to know each other. We are going to jump right into the second part of our program. So before I read the bio, let me just make a little correction. So in the program, you will see directly after intermission, it says Matters of the Heart. So somehow, and I'm honored that this happened, I don't know how it happened, my name was added to the list of grandmothers that this performance was dedicated to. I am not. So that's just a little error, a little typo. The performers are going to be Alexandra Burchett, Lauren McBaron, Tristan Matthews, and Megan Ross. And the piece that says "In This Place," that is actually an introduction for the poem that I'm going to be doing after this group finishes. So skip all of that for now. And we are going to be experiencing the artistry of the KT Collective. Okay, so is all of that clear? All right, I am a grandmother, but I'm not one of the grandmothers that this is dedicated to. So, KT Collective Dance Company was founded by Kristen Taylor Duncan, who you just met in presenting the award a few minutes ago, in 2012. The company produces works of contemporary and jazz dance techniques. The company had its first performance at the North Carolina Museum of Art in Raleigh, North Carolina. Mrs. Taylor Duncan has been granted the Ella Fountain Pratt Emerging Artist Grant and the Artist Support Grant. KTC has performed for Triangle Dance Project, North Carolina Dance Festival, Durham's Kwanzaa Celebration, Women at Work, and with Helen Simoneau Dance, the Nasher Museum, Richmond Dance Festival, the Dumbo Dance Festival, and the North Carolina Museum of History. Proximic Media commissioned the company to create a piece for the Civil Rights Mural Continuing to Tell in downtown Durham, North Carolina. In 2023, Mrs. Taylor Duncan received a commission from American Dance Festival for the Made in NC performance. So you can find KT Collective Dance Company at their website, www.ktcollectivedancecompany.com, and you can find them on Instagram at KT Collective. So now I will get out of your way so that you can enjoy the artistic style of KT Dance Collective. So before I do my piece, I'm the next performer. I'm not going to read my bio, though. So before I do my piece, I just want to once again thank the Hayti Heritage Center for allowing us to make this space our home. And I want to give a special shout out to Marvin E.J. Thorne, who is our technician slash magician. Wave your hand, EJ. I know y'all have seen him up here moving furniture and getting the sound right and everything. So valuable to what we're doing. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing for us today. So this piece, I am a spoken word artist and a poet, and I normally pull a poem out that I already have to be able to brush up and do for these performances. But I felt moved to write a poem specifically for this experience and this moment. I was watching Jennifer Lewis and her interview with Robin Roberts not long ago, and she said one line that just stuck with me and I had to write to it. So the line was, "If there is pain, let me feel it so I can fix it." It just hit me somewhere deep down. So this piece is called In This Place. In this place, we honor the feelings. We honor the joy. We honor the excitement. We honor the anger. We honor the fear. We honor the work. We make room for the weight, for the heavy lifting. We acknowledge that there is room for all of it when there is room for healing. We breathe. In this place, we call upon the ancestors, the ones who have traversed this earthly plane, the ones who keep watch, so great a cloud of witnesses, the ones who are the taste to which we season, the ones who show up to instruct when we've lost our way, the ones who remind us that this path we call familiar can change quickly. We call on the energy that carried our ancestors through, the insight to make a way out of no way, the courage to know when enough is enough, and the fervor to reject that which does not serve us. We call on that spirit that troubles the coastal African waters, that invokes the hurricanes to frequent the ports to which beautiful brown and black humans have been trafficked and sold and tormented. We call on the wisdom that tells us who our enemies are, and the insight to know who our tribe is not. In this place, we welcome hope. We welcome the babies. We welcome the reality that the two are synonymous. We acknowledge that sometimes the hope dies. Sometimes it has no room to push through, that roses that grow from concrete are compromised every single day, that even if they thrive, they've had to survive to do so. We acknowledge the story. We honor the lessons learned. We praise the resilience while denouncing the systems that made it necessary. In this place, we acknowledge all of the failed relationships and all of the ones that have thrived, have had healthy roots, have healthy DNA. We hear all of the voices and listen with our hearts. We call upon our hearts to be in sync with our minds, knowing that we know, knowing what we know, believing our gut, unlearning our distrust of our basest instincts. We've been known to see what we hear. And we've been known to challenge what we know to be untrue. In this place, we know strength to be true. We know weakness to be true. We know hard work to be true. We know ease to be true. We call self-care a birthright. We know value to be true. We know truth to be a standard. We know what we know, and in that knowing, we know who we are. We know who we are. We know who we are. We call to us the many pieces of ourselves that have been scattered in the wind and have journeyed on our way as we've journeyed on our way to this place. In this place, we be giants. In this place, we be luminous. In this place, we be all of the glory. In this place, we be breathing divinity. We be here in this place, and our legacy in this place is a resounding amen, is a foot stomping hallelujah, is a hand waving. If I couldn't say a word, our work will speak for us in this place. Ashe. Thank you, EJ. Okay. Ooh, that's a transition going from performing back to work. All right, so I'm back at work now. Okay. So thank you so much. The next performer is going to be Sev the Fairy. So Seven, that's her name, Seven. Stage name is Sev the Fairy. Seven is 29 years young. Born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. Say it again. Who was that? Wave your hand. There you go. Pride, absolutely. She is a choreographer, poet, event coordinator, and overall visionary. Through her artistry, she offers in-depth perspectives that show different versions of growth and believes that the only two things that are constant in life are changes and choices. She embraces the philosophy that every day we have the opportunity to do both and pave the way for others to want to do the same in a positive light. You can find Seven on Instagram at Sev the Fairy, that's SEVTHEFAIRY, and give a round of applause and welcome Seven to the stage.
Hello, everybody. So I have a poem that I'm gonna do for you guys. It's called Emotion in Motion, and I'm gonna jump right into it. Art is defined as something created with skill and imagination, and that is beautiful or that expresses important ideas or feelings. Have you ever felt something that didn't need to be touched, but instead you were touched? Have you ever seen someone move their body in a way where a conversation was had that wasn't even actually discussed? We're able to give you an explanation of interpretation of our life through collaboration of our imagination mixed with real-life realizations, spiritual affirmations, and your involuntary participation yet appreciation for our choice of art and pure expression. You see, dance is the art of human movement. Dance is identity, dance is our ancestors, dance is storytelling, dance is trust, unity, history, and so much more. Dance is emotion in motion, like real spill, no joking, like literally. Dance can convey a whole scope of human emotion from joy to anger to happiness to shyness to excitement to whatever. It can literally be whatever you want or need it to be. We have the ability to strengthen, discipline, and refresh not only ourselves, but a whole other person. This is what I mean when I say speaking yet unspoken. You have to get into the rhythmic motion. It's vibrational. Dance is something majority of the world has the ability to share, learn, and or teach. It has no boundaries unless to whom exemplifies it. Dance has been around for centuries. You cannot pinpoint where something so natural started in societal history. It's as natural as breathing. Just look at the babies. You turn on a nice tune and the babies get the kicking in the womb. And at the next family reunion, as we commune, elders get up out the blue. And you know, it's always that one mama or that one auntie that be like, baby, do that one dance I like. Or nowadays, you got TikTok, so they say, do that one TikTok dance that I like. And you know, we all got that one uncle. I just wanted to take a little bit of what we do and a lot of who we are and put it into words for you. Thank you.
'Cause I've been where you are. You're too scared to show me love, 'cause too fresh with the scar. Well, I don't have the answers, so I won't tell you lies. You were there when I was down low, but you gotta live your own life. She said I can't let this happen. No, I can't let this happen again. I found my love and I don't wanna lose it again. And I told you all my secrets, lover. Now I don't want her to speak to another, my dear. And I find it hard to fully trust you. And I'm staring at this multicolored cluster of lust and love. She said I can't let this happen. No, I can't let this happen again. I found my love and I don't wanna lose it again. And I value all that we discover. We set free, we set free those emotions left uncovered, my dear. An echo of our time stands before us. Eyes isn't the mouth, she looks just like you, my dear. I said I can't let this happen. I can't let this happen again. I found my love and I don't wanna lose it again. I say I can't let this happen. No, I can't let this happen again. I found my love and I don't wanna lose it again, girl. No, I don't wanna lose you now. 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 No, I had it all.
Thank you so much, Seven. Give another round of applause for Seven. I am loving the way all these different art forms come together in this space every single year. It's amazing to me. My inner self is a dancer. My vertigo won't let me be great, though. But my inner me is a dancer, absolutely. That was amazing. The next performer that we're bringing up is Alexis McKinney. Y'all can clap, it's okay. Yeah. So Alexis McKinney is a community organizer, writer, family archivist, and herbalist, born and raised in North Carolina, where most of her people call home. Her organizing work has centered around direct action, abolition, and establishing local mutual aid networks. She is currently engaged in organizing local Black-led food systems and archival research on the history of Black communities in eastern North Carolina. Alexis's creative practices include plant walks, coffee ceremony, community spellcasting for liberation, and writing for her newsletter, Afro Carolina Correspondence, and you can find that newsletter on Substack. It's a blog. You can also find Alexis on Instagram at Lex_Kenny. And we are going to go ahead, we're going to go right into it. Please give a round of applause for Alexis as she comes to the stage.
Hello. Y'all look so beautiful. Thank you. This has been a really wonderful afternoon. And before I get into my work, I really wanted to just acknowledge and speak out loud in front of my community that there's a lot of people hurting in the world right now. And I just want to hold just a few moments of silence for our family in Palestine, our family in Congo, our family in Sudan, our family in Haiti, our family in Yemen. It's not much, but we can at least hold space in this sacred, hallowed space of Haiti for those who are not here and who are suffering. And so I would love for y'all to just join me in a brief moment of silence. Thank you. So today I'm here to read a short story that I wrote. And it's not just a short story, it's a folk story, it's folklore. And what I love about the folklore of Black people here is that it's always in conversation with itself, with each other, with the spirits, with the land. And so I'm gonna be in conversation with a few spirits, with a few people, and with this book, How to Lose the Hounds, Maroon Geographies in a World Beyond Policing by Celeste Winston. Definitely highly recommend it. To really give us some grounding and some context for my story that I'm gonna read. And so I'm gonna read a little bit about what Celeste says about Maroon folklore. I consider Maroon folklore a technology rooted in Black knowledge and practices of world building for the creation and maintenance of Black life. Stories about Maroons gave hope to enslaved Black people and pointed them towards the possibility of and methods for their own escape. This folklore of Maroon fugitivity is part of a larger Black folklore tradition that connects Maroonage all the way from flight from prisons and the police state. As Daryl Cumber Dance argues, escape is the oldest and most enduring theme in Black folklore and literature. And so I've written my own story of escape, and it's also a story about High John, which is a spirit, a deity within the Black Southern tradition, storytelling tradition. And you can't talk about High John you can't talk about High John without talking about Zora Neale Hurston, who was an amazing anthropologist, storyteller, truth teller, writer, and revered ancestor of the Harlem Renaissance. And so she was my first experience with High John, and so I give her honor and respect. And my story is called Carolina Gold. Of course, God would have it that the hottest day of the year was also the longest one. It was so long that the sun didn't even bother setting, and the moon didn't dare intercede. In the middle of every growing season, that day would come, and everyone on the plantation dreaded it, dragging the front end of the day out so as to prolong the inevitable. This was the only day that the women took a little longer preparing breakfast, cooking all the food they could spare. The men took their time with their household chores, understanding what may lay on the other side of the grueling labor that awaited them. The children, with their copper skin and wide eyes, were the only ones who quickened their pace on this day. They could sense the tension that coated the air, but their young minds attributed to the grannies, who would no doubt have some tricks up their sleeves to help the time pass. Or maybe even the arrival of High John, who made it his business to make sure they made it through the day. On the day that the sun refused to set, hunger took its place and set in quicker than usual. No one could glance up at the waning sun to see how soon the workday would be over, so the grueling labor of harvesting rice seemed endless and more unbearable than usual. The hard, yellowish grains of Carolina gold seemed to taunt them with the possibility of sustenance. Fear, anticipation, and deep hunger erupted from everyone's stomachs as they knelt in the thick swamplands, creating a cacophony of discomfort. Two of the fastest harvesters, Po Boy and Benny, were moving at lightning speed. The two brothers had been in competition ever since Po Boy had made the levee last winter to keep the rice paddy from getting flooded in the spring. Slow down now, ain't no use in competing today. You know that's dangerous in this here heat, one of the older men called Eno warned. Just as Po Boy turned back to respond, his elbow connected with Benny's face right as Benny crouched down to pick up some runaway rice. The elbow put Benny on his hind parts and sent rice flying. I don't care how hot it is today, Po Boy. I done had it with you trying to make a fool of me, said Benny, jumping up and preparing himself for a fight. Oh, Lord, it's too hot for all this, exclaimed Eno, who'd seen this coming. He looked upwards at the heavens, as he usually did when things took a turn for worse, forgetting that the sun shone too brightly to hold any answers. The piercing brightness and damp, suffocating heat was deadly on this day. So deadly that more times than not, one or two oyster shell headstones punctuated the doubly long field shift. Last year, he was the one who carefully placed the shells, along with a piece of cloth from his mother's favorite dress, in the small plot of land that held the first Africans to be enslaved on the South Carolina rice plantation some odd century ago. Eno was jolted out of his thoughts about his mother and oyster shells by Po Boy and Benny, who had commenced to tussling on the ground and were getting dangerously loud. Just as Po Boy grabbed a large stick to do who knows what, one of the grannies, Ruth, appeared, carrying a wide sweetgrass basket covered with red cloth. Despite making the long trek from the big house where she worked, there wasn't one drop of sweat on her oak-colored brow. Now what you gonna do with that? She questioned. Po Boy, wide-eyed and blinking, looked at the stick in his hand and tossed it aside. He knew whatever was in that basket would soon take precedence over his battle with his brother. Ruth was known to cast spells on those who caused too much trouble. Can't eat fish if you busy arguing and carrying on, she said, uncovering the basket to reveal a mound of cornmeal fried catfish. We had some extra fish and meal over yonder at the big house, she exclaimed with a gummy smile. There was rarely extra of anything these days, but stranger things had happened this time of the year. The unexpected snack diffused the looming tension as each person quickly grabbed a piece of hot fish from the basket. The catfish was so good and fresh, even Eno thought he caught a whiff of the Atlantic. A strong, surprisingly cool gust of salty wind whirled around them. Ruth cocked one ear up to the side as if she was listening to something. With a knowing look, Ruth announced, Hi, John will be here soon, placed the now empty sweetgrass basket on her head, and made her way back to the big house. It was as if Ruth's leaving gave High John the okay to arrive, because just as the bobbing sweetgrass basket disappeared, two children who'd climbed a nearby magnolia tree to enjoy their fish saw a van with a large sack coming up the hill. It's High John, they squealed, and were promptly shushed by their mothers. But they were right. High John was hard to miss. He wore a long, billowing, maroon-colored blouse and pants. The tall, thick coils that covered his head seemed to dance with the rhythm of his proud stride. High John's skin was the color of midnight, so dark and deep, it reminded them of freedom. And then there was his sack, which was really a regular sack when you didn't pay too much attention to it. But if you squint your eyes real small at it, you could see threads of gleaming gold threaded through the plain fabric. The stalks of rice seemed to part as he approached. The magnolia tree, holding the children, stood a little taller. I heard white man got y'all working about 2 whole days, High John bellowed. I got something for that. What you got, John? Called out Po' Boy. With a devilish grin, High John reached into his sack and brandished a purple fiddle with gold strings. White man say work? That means it's time to play. John, you're trying to get us killed, complained Eno, who was getting tired of all the commotion. High John peered at the sun and reached back into his sack, pulling out a mirror as tall as he was. He gently placed the mirror against the magnolia tree, angling it so that it cast a blinding glare directly facing the big house. That'll show enough buyer some time, don't you think, Eno? Yeah, I reckon, John. High John returned to his purple fiddle and started playing. No one knew what to do at first, but then one of the older girls named Rose, who had found her way over from the other side of the rice paddy, started dancing. Closing her eyes and twirling her tattered skirt, she danced until the music started to speak to the other folk out in the swampy rice field. One by one, they were all affected by the rhythm High John spun on that fiddle. Their feet took the place of drums. Their hands became tambourines. Melodies began to erupt from their bellies and through their tongues. The music they made was so magnetic, the sun began to swell. High John was absolutely delighted. I think we might have drummed up enough noise to spin some gold, he shouted over the music. Still in the groove, the dancing people sung out. How, John, how? If you can hold some sunshine, then spinning gold is the easy part, he replied with his melodic voice. Just grab some. So they reached their hands up towards the swelling sun and squeezed. Squeezed so hard that the gold began to pool into their palms. They worked that gold, spun it right in their hands. They dumped out the now sandy-looking rice and filled their harvest sacks with the brilliant material. All the while, High John was playing his fiddle. When he noticed the sun beginning to wilt, High John directed his fiddle towards the big house. The people, now drunk with the abundance they'd conjured up on this curious day, followed, dragging their sacks, which were now overflowing with their hand-spun gold. They danced and sang the half-country mile it took to get to the big house, as if they hadn't been out in the fields for the length of 2 days. Eno was the first to get a rise out of the absurdity of the moment. The laugh began with a tickle to the cracked, hardened soles of his feet. As he trekked on, the tickle slowly made its way up his bones and rose out of his spine. And Eno laughed. He laughed harder than he had ever in his 50 years of existence on that plantation. Eno laughed so hard, the person beside him caught some and started laughing too. Pretty soon, the ground trembled with the laughter of the slaves. Their hoots and hollers reverberated against the trees who leaned in a little closer to get in on the joke. They laughed right onto the porch of the big house, where each person, with tears streaming down their face, took a handful of gold from their stack and lobbed it through the open window beside the tall front door that used to seem so ominous. As they descended from the steps, they wiped their feet caked with swamp mud and bits of Carolina gold rice on the white porch. With each person bought and paid for, the former slaves had no need for the feet that had brought them thus far. So the giddy crowd of black folk floated, and they followed High John and his fiddle right onto the Atlantic.
Give another round of applause for that beautiful story. I was so caught up in the story, I forgot I had to get back up and come back out here. That was incredible. I was watching High on the Hog, and they talked about Carolina Gold, and so all of just, yeah, it was just a moment for me. Thank you so much, Alexis. We appreciate your gift. The last performer of the day is Makeda Iroquois. So Makeda is a singer, songwriter, and producer, and has been cultivating her sound for quite some time. Hempstead, Long Island born, New York, yay. Yes, I kept hearing throughout the day whenever someone would say New York, like the Bronx, Brooklyn, then there would be a little woo somewhere in the crowd. Yeah, we can't help it. I'm from New York, too. Charlotte raised. Makeda's music reflects a broadly cultured upbringing. Her more recent work, both released and unreleased, has gone through the hi-fis and lo-fis of Southern and Northern influence. With a love for early 90s hip-hop, jazz, world music, and a foundation of Native American and African ancestry, Makeda's music displays the unique perspective that she brings to her collaborations, production, and her songwriting. You can find Makeda on Instagram at Makeda Iroquois, all one word, and start giving a round of applause as we welcome Makeda Iroquois to the stage.
Diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate and tease me. They won't leave in the night. Have no fear that they might desert me. Diamonds are forever. Hold one up and caress it. Touch it, stroke it, and undress it. I can see every part, nothing hides in the heart to hurt me. Though I need love, for what good would love do me? Diamonds never lie to me. For when love's gone, they luster up. Diamonds are forever, sparkling round my little finger. Unlike men, diamonds linger. Men are mere mortals who are not worth going to your grave for. Though I need love, for what good would love do me? Diamonds never lie to me. For when love's gone, they luster up. Diamonds are forever, forever, forever. Diamonds are forever, 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 forever. And ever.
I want you to give another round of applause for everyone. If everyone that has performed today could make their way to the stage, just come on up from wherever you are. I've had fun. I hope that you have too.
In the extension of time, we're still going to do our Women at Workshops. So any of you who would like upstairs immediately, we're going to maybe condense them to about a half an hour. If you want to take a movement class with Ife, a Women at Workshop, or a spoken word, poetry, write your own story workshop with Kim McCrae, please come upstairs to have a half hour, work with the artist, and enjoy your evening if we don't see you upstairs. Thank you, everybody.
Who run the world? Girls. 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 Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run the world? Girls. 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 Some of them men think they freak this like we do, but no they don't. Make your check come at their neck. Disrespect us, no they won't. Boy, don't even try to touch this. Boy, this beat is crazy. This is how they made me. Houston, Texas, baby. This goes out to all my girls up in the club, rocking the ladies. Who will buy it for themselves and get my money later? I think I need a barber. None of these niggas play me. I'm so good with this. I remind you I'm so hood with this. Boy, I'm just playing. Come here, baby. Hope you still like me if you pay me. Persuasion can build a nation. Endless power. Without love, we can devour. You'll do anything for me. Who run the world? Girls. 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 Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run the world? Girls. 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 It's hot up in here, DJ. Don't be scared to run this back. I'm rapping for the girls who are taking over the world. Heavy raise a glass for the college grads. 41 rollie to let you know what time it is. Check, you can't hold me. I work my 9 to 5, gotta cut my check. This goes up to all the women getting it in. You on your grind. To all the men that respect what I do, please accept my shine. Go ahead, know you love it. How we smart enough to make these millions, strong enough to bear the children. Then get back to business. You better not play me. Oh, come here, baby. Hope you still like me if you pay me. Persuasion can build a nation. Endless power. Without love, we can devour. You'll do anything for me. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world?
stuff. The sign is mine.